Hello there, my lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of Sitting Down with Soul Writer with me, Jenna O'Malley, your soul writer. And as always, take care of yourself a little bit better each and every day. We around here know you're definitely worth it. We are actually going to do our last episode for 2021 on this channel. I thought it was highly appropriate for us to do this, in my opinion, the correct way, with a 1 year on YouTube retrospective. Jenna O'Malley style, of course. So, let's go ahead, settle in. There's a lot of recap ahead and some updates of what I plan on doing in 2022. Let's rock it. So, welcome back there, my lovelies. We are looking at 1 full year on YouTube as, well, me, Jenna O'Malley, your soul writer. It's been a long road discovering who I am meant to be as an author. Many of you know IRL, I'm also a teacher, and I have a great bit of experience in teaching people how to read and write because, well, I teach English for a living and took 2020 to pivot. So, who kind of am I right off the bat? A little bit of a glimpse. I am Jenna O'Malley, the soul writer from Western or Mountainside, Maryland, as we call it now. And I tell stories the way they are. There's not always a happily ever after at the end of my stories because sometimes that's just not how life is. I do tend to blend a lot of different worlds. And specifically with my first series, the Arsinoe Forest Alliance, I did seek out to answer a question. That series focuses on why isn't there magic in a modern day world and what happened to all the creatures who could ever possibly use magic. We're not talking just about fairies, elves, unicorns. We're talking about vampires, werewolves, demons, celestials, you name it. So I definitely do also look at the human condition from a fishbowl perspective. Do not come into my books expecting an easy read. You will kind of be forced to witness the characters check their own biases routinely. And I do love what I do here on YouTube, but before we get too much further, let's take a moment and pause about how the books themselves are doing. Book 1, Bound by Fate and Blood, came out on February 14th of 2021. It has a solid set of reviews on it. Most reviews are 4 and 5 stars. I don't have very many reads on it yet, and it does need another revision. I know it needs a new cover, especially since Suntroa, Jeremy Green, is planning on doing the rest of the covers for the remaining books to follow it. Book 2, Bound by Oath and Heart, does continue Neftiri and Ian's story from book 1, but you also get the pattern of a swap out couple, this case being Rochelle and Bjorn. It has been shortlisted for an award. I'll back up and talk about book 1's shortlist here in a moment. But on New Year's Day 2022, Best Book Editors hopefully will be will be releasing the videos or announcements or so on about the award winners. Book 2 is up for Book of the Year. I am so ecstatic. Book 2 in itself still needs another revision, and reviews are starting to come in strong for it. I'm absolutely thrilled. I never thought I would even be shortlisted for an award, let alone a finalist. Book one is up for book trailer awards as best book trailer. So both do need looked at by sensitivity readers, in my opinion, again. And I am still learning to check my own biases in my writing. So if you want to become part of the ARC or sensitivity read team for any of my books, please reach out and contact me. I'll probably have stuff on social media about that coming out to you in the new year as well. So there are a couple of important dates around here. And most of you are probably looking at the channel creation date as being August 5th, 2020 and going, wait a minute. How is this a 1-year retrospective? I actually did not post a video until January of 2021. I believe that video was either episode 1 of Listening to the Voices in Our Heads, so like the original season 1, episode 1, or that was either the book unboxing reveal for book 1, Bound by Fate and Blood, that I did with a few friends and family members. So both of those videos are just now really starting to pick up and take off. It's been an interesting year. So kind of a quick recap again. August 5th is when Jenna the Soul Writer, the Gmail account and branding was created. And honestly, looking back, I don't think I ever intended to do AuthorTube. I am extremely, extremely glad that I allowed a couple of friends of mine to convince me to do AuthorTube in retrospect. They themselves are gamers. They do Twitch and back up to YouTube kind of deal. And I really am ecstatic to see the videos that they inspired me to do start to take off. The channel as a whole over the last month or so has grown exponentially. We are about halfway to our first 100 subscribers. So let me take a moment and do the ritualistic reminder, since we are all human, and I myself forget to do this sadly. Please take a moment to like. If you see that subscribe button, make sure the bell is set to where you need it to be. And please do give us a comment below as well. So, other things that are going to be happening around here as the channel continues to grow. Let's look at things a little bit playlist type, season, podcast, whatever categories you want to call these. We'll start off with Fiction in 5. I am about to finish season 2. I have only a couple more videos to finish getting out. I am taking to doing those on Mondays. And I do read way more than I review publicly. Keep that in mind. This is mostly due to time constraints on my part, because while I do teach in the same space that you see right now, I only spend, like 40 to 50 hours out of my week minimum goes to teaching, and the remaining goes to life, goes to author stuff. So mostly due to time constraints, I'm trying to figure out what days to do which things. And therefore, just because I read your book, unfortunately, does not mean that you get into an episode of Fiction in 5. A lot of people forget that I did a randomizer video to help me choose these all the way back in June or July of 2021. So season 1, 2, and 3 were decided months ago, and that's why I added in the bonus videos, because I read more along the way. I am likely going to not do the randomizer ahead in the future, just because it was too constraining. I went way too far in the wrong direction to make sure it was not just me reading my friend's work. If you know me, you know I really don't have very many friends. Anyway, introvert, hermit. Anyway, I do plan to do better at getting these videos out in a more timely manner. They don't take me long to make, but it's still a matter of finding the time to do so. And I do need to get better about counter posting my reviews on Goodreads, Amazon, and my blog. on my website. I really let those go by the wayside when I started teaching this fall and didn't intend to. Sitting down with Soul Writer. Oh, this thing we're doing right now. I am super glad to see this series continue. It is definitely going to be my moment to sit down with everyone one-on-one and talk about writing. Fiction in 5 is my chance to talk about stuff I read. Sitting down with Soul Writer is my chance to talk about writing end of stuff. Particularly how-to videos on different things. I am writing a script up and getting ready to go through and finalize everything for a couple of different mini series that will run within this playlist. They'll probably get their own little playlist, to be fair, but they'll be part of the bigger playlist for this as well, if you get what I mean. I want to redo my battle writing and go far more in depth. I kind of want to do like battle writing 101, battle writing 102. You get what I mean? And just kind of give you full insight into how I would write a battle scene from start to finish. I am likely going to sit down and just literally film me doing the whole thing from start to finish. There is an extra step I have to add for all of you, and that's character creation sheets. So I'll go over how are some good ways to make some really quick and dirty character sheets for yourself. Everyone keeps asking me if I'm going to do actual characters for my books. I can do that. The likelihood that you're going to get of who's doing what, let's get real, you're probably going to see Frey versus Ian. It'll be hilarious. That way you have a weaponry based fighter in Ian and then a more magic based fighter in Frey, so you could see them at one another and how they work together or not. In that case, since they'll be enemies. I also want to go over another series of how I use academic research modes and outlining. So we're talking like stuff you would do for a research essay in an English or social studies or whatever class in school. Like that kind of academic research. I use a lot of that to do research for my novels. The Arsinoe Forest Alliance is for several parts of the mega series that it's going to be. By the time I'm done, it definitely requires me to do research. Even in the modern setting novels, because books 6 through 8 of the main series are set in the same era that Vitae Elangica happens, 2015. And even then, because of things one of the winged ones, Bear, does with genetics, and because of how I'm finding out Marino World works basically on a genetic physical level, like I'm doing a lot of research ahead of time. So I thought, if I'm going through all these, how do I use a scientific journal to write a fictional novel type situations again and again, I might as well capture it in a video and share it with all of you. Something I often do as well when I teach students how to write is how to use tools they use as readers in reverse as writers. And I might do a mini series on that as well, because I don't think a lot of newer, younger writers understand that the same things you use to rip apart somebody else's writing can be used to plan your writing and vice versa. So I thought that would be an interesting series to get out in 2022 as well. So, another really growing and popular series, listening to the voices in our heads. This is my number one hot seat playlist series thing I do. It is my interview series where literally I sit down and talk to, as I say, creative minds about their creative processes. I have pretty much booked up season 3. I have one episode to get out to you of season 2 in the new year. I will be contacting people who asked to do season 3 very, very soon. I normally do about 10 episodes a season. Season 3 might run over, and I'm thrilled about that. Listening to the voices in our heads out of all 3 of the seasons and series I've mentioned of the things I do, this one took off the quickest. I love doing it. Yes, with Fiction in 5, it captures a drop in the bucket of the amazing books I've read this year. I've read over 100 books, probably way more than that. That's a fairly minimalist number there. Yes, in sitting down with Soul Writer, you get to see the crazier sides of my life. Not just what I do with writing. But with this one, I get to interact with people the world over. For seasons 1 and 2, I've talked to people across the pond in Britain. I've talked to people in the Middle East, in South Africa. It's just been absolutely positively amazing. And I could not wish for more. I also would like to see not just more new people come in, but I'd be thrilled to see some of those who were in season 1 but did not come back for season 2. Please reach out. If something new has happened in your world, let's do an update video. I love seeing other people grow, and this is my way of giving back to the community that gives me so much. Fiction in 5 allows me to do it a little bit, but this is really my way to invite people to share what makes them truly tick as a creative mind. So please check in for the Google form links to become a part of season 3. I have a couple of dates that went unused because I always offer more dates than I plan to record. Just to. My schedule is normally way easier and way open compared to others, is why. So if you are looking to possibly join me for season 3, I am going to start reaching out to people soon who have already filled out the form, and check the description for the links you need accordingly. NaNoWriMo updates with Indie Pals did not run long enough. Tiffany Ann and Ash Johnson, thank you. Thank you so much, ladies, for sticking it through with me every single week. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for the banter, the feedback. They knew about Angel a couple of weeks before everybody else, mostly because when I found out I was pregnant, I found out the same day I was likely to miscarry. And I told the ladies we could literally cancel this, blah, 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 at the drop of a hat. And they said, whatever you are capable of doing, we are here to help. So you two ladies, thank you. Some of the days were so hard in November, and it took all I did just to make it to Saturday to hang out with Ash and Tiffany for even just an hour. So for those of you who supported this season, I hope you join us for next year. Tiffany and Ash, I hope you're my co-hosts again, okay? We learned a lot doing it, and I would love to have you back again. I'm also extremely curious whether or not we should do Camp NaNoWriMo. We'll talk about that soon. So, speaking of other things that I've started planning in 2021, I've hinted about this, and I've been hinting about it since November. I am planning a huge book baby bash anniversary party. The live stream needs help. I'm not sure what all to do for it. My live streams for my books tend to be really boring. So I'm interested to see who all might join me. I'm definitely looking to ask my editor to hop in for that. And I would like to have some fellow author tubers on to do anything you might find interesting to do for such a party. It's my first one. I'm not quite sure what to do for it versus a book launch. So, I am open to ideas. I want to do a live reading of a chapter I have yet to do a live reading of. Book 1 tends to see a lot of chapter 1 and chapter 2 reread for people again and again and again. I'm often told my battle scenes are the best in the book. I figured at least maybe for the live stream, read the battle scene. I really don't know other than that what to do. So, outside of the event itself, there is a virtual book tour that's in the works to be planned. So if you would like to be part of that, please let me know. I'm of course doing it through Silver Dagger. I am also doing a couple of different giveaways as part of this whole big bash. There's a couple of different sets of book 1 and 2 autographed up for sale. I'm doing a pop the balloon contest where other authors who write vampire fiction are welcome to join me. Of course, check the link tree or email me for more information with that. A fellow author does run those, and thank you, my dear. So check out my social media for that. And then, of course, I have to give a huge, huge, huge amount of thank yous to the community that kept me here. Barrett, Novel Nana, Shannon, Margaret, Brick Pack, Books by Adrian, Aphrodite Lee, hashtag Maryland Writers Rule, Sharon, all of you, please understand I'm extremely grateful. Anyone I forgot to mention, because I'm sure the list is a mile wide. Thank you for creating a community that is open, welcoming, and warm. This community has proven time and again it is unafraid to address issues along the way in as polite a manner as possible, while also considering as many people's perspectives and contexts for living and what they need and so on. So thank you all for inviting me along on your individual journeys and of course for being part of mine. I always say that I want to do a million things. So hopes for the future. This is long term now. We're talking past June, because anyone who knows anything knows that Bound by Vengeance in Mind, book 3 of the Arsinoe Forest Alliance, comes out June 1st, 2022 for Pride. Thank you, Frey and Lee, for being fierce. I probably will have a launch party, something or other for that, and make it super big. I really want to do another live stream series. Recently, talking to SD about her books. She writes YA fiction, I believe, and just finished her book. It's amazing. Go check it. I was just telling her I really want something to balance out NaNoWri updates, because right now that just lasts October through November and I do it weekly. But I kind of need something else. We have some things in the works, not dropping hints. We've just swapped some ideas. Hopefully it will pan out into something live stream or a big project for us to work on together. December and January will probably remain my low-key end of semester changeover for teaching I Need My Sanity months. So I don't foresee me ever doing Vlogmas, even though people tell me I need to. I just don't have time right now, unfortunately. I did consider doing writing sprint or an edit with me series. I think the edit with me will benefit audiences just because I teach editing and whatnot in a workshop style. I'm not sure how it'll translate to a YouTube live stream setting is the problem. We'll see what happens. If you are interested in doing a collaboration, let me know. I work from home, so as long as I can fit it around teaching a live class with my students, I'm willing to help. I do need to learn how to use Audacity, DaVinci, TubeBuddy, and StreamYard a tad better. Audacity because I might be recording my own audiobooks. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that. But at the end of the day, thank you for being here, my lovelies. It's not been the smoothest of starts, but it's been an interesting year. It's been over 60 videos worth of content. Some really, 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 really bad. Okay. Mostly really, really bad as far as quality goes. But even just looking back, I can see where things are improving. So let's go ahead and wrap this up the same way we started it, my lovelies. Take care of you. If anything, I learned above all this year, we're worth it. Much love. Thank you for being here. And I hope you have a safe, glorious walking into 2022. Take care. Bye, lovelies.